So for us as well, we need help from Tzadik, we need help from a Rebbe, we need help from a spiritual guide. But not only that, we have to continually self-nullify ourselves to find the inner Tzadik within us. And the inner Tzadik within us is not easy because there's still pieces of us that want to hold on to the thing that isn't the Tzadik, the thing that's pushing us away from the Tzadik that we're supposed to be. Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Live with the Times. Grateful to be here, grateful for all of you. Today we're going over of MeKates. MeKates, the first Aliyah of Mikeitz. What a great gift it is to be here. Yeah, let's get into it. So basically, MeKates means the end. The only problem is what's at the end of? Right, a wise man, or I guess a wise guy once said, Jake Roberts, he said, it's not the end. It's not even the beginning of the end, but only the end of the beginning. And that's what it seems like we're entering here, in the sense that this whole first part of the story, what is it the end of? It's the end of the story of Yosef becoming Yosef. And what was this process? What was this whole thing? Like we're talking about, that when he was sold into slavery, his brothers really had a real gripe. I really had a real gripe. And so I want to continue and talk about this process. Before we do, let's take a moment here to think about Am Yisrael, Daven Am Yisrael, and the Chatufim, the hostages. They should be returned speedily here in this time of light, Chanukah. And also click that like button, click that subscribe button, and appreciate all of you. Now, starts off here, Vayhi MeKates, Shnatayim Yamim. And when the translation says after 2 years, but it's not really 2 years. Shnatayim Yamim means that it was 2 years of days. 2 years of days. And we talk about this a lot, right, when it comes to Tzadikim, in the sense that we talked about it as well, that when Yaakov was working for Lavan, what was it? He said, Yomim Echadim. It was like a series of 1 days. Right? And the same thing when it came to Avraham Avinu, right? That Avraham Avinu talked about lengthening his days, that he was a man, an old man of old days, meaning that he was able to strengthen and lengthen out his days. And here, once again, we have with Yosef at Tzadik, and where we see that finally, this is the moment that Yosef is at Tzadik. Right, all this time up to here, he was going through this process. And what was it? It was finally this 2 years of days, of 1 days. And Rebbe Nachman talks about a couple of things. Not only is it about that the tzaddikim, what are they doing? They're making the most out of each day. And each day is being lengthening, and the importance of it, and looking at everything 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time, as we learn in recovery as well, right? But that the each day is equivalent to an entire year. So each day is an equivalent to an entire year. And you see over here, even we'll learn later on, spoiler alert, we get into the land of Israel. Or no, we don't get into the land of Israel, I'm sorry. We're about to get into the land of Israel, and the Meraglim, the spies, they go in and they bring back an evil report. We'll get about that later on. But they're in there for 40 days. And how long were they sentenced to walk around the desert for 40 years? So each day is a year, right? And we see how important it is, how each single day we stop into his Bodadus, and we stop and we do some vigilance, and we watch and we see and we check ourselves that we can save our entire year, our entire Rosh Hashanah. So we do it every single day. There's no double jeopardy. There's more to talk about that. But what I want to talk about, as I said, is about this process of Yosef at Tzadik, of how he went from this boy being sold in slavery, who was not ready yet to receive all the blessings that Hashem wanted to give him and that his father wanted to give him, right? So now he is being brought up and out of the dungeon, after 2 years, extra long years, that every single day, right? He thought today could be the day, and every single day we're hoping that today is the day, just like we're waiting for Moshiach to come, that today is the day. But see that Yosef had a real reason for being sold in slavery, and of course, part of it is that he is now leading the way for the Jewish people. They were destined to be in exile, and he was getting the room ready and setting up the table and making sure there's hot coffee and everything for Bnei Yisrael, for the children of Israel to arrive. But even more so than that, right, on an individual level, he was going through his own process. And his process went from being a person who really did have a lot of busha, had a lot of arrogance, gava, temptations, this, that, and but knowing that his father, knowing that for sure he's going to get there, right? And even at the time of his with Potiphera, right? Even then, that could have been the end, but he still had some busha, right? That it said that he had chen. He had chen in the eyes of the guards, of the warden there, and so he placed him in charge there in jail. And obviously, he had a favor in the eyes of Potiphar. Otherwise, he would have been killed there instead of being put in jail, right? But even there, at the end there, with the cupbearer and the baker, that he still thought, okay, well, I better do my part. Yeah, we got to do our part, right? But he thought, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get myself out of jail. Hashem's keeping me in here, and I'm going to get myself out of here. And for that reason, he had to wait a whole nother 2 years. And there was this process of he almost was ready, and he was on, and then he wasn't ready. He was almost ready, and he wasn't ready. And you see here that this is the same thing that goes on with Paro. Rebbe Nachman, he brings a novel thought here with the cows and with those ears of corn. That what happened? Paro is now, he's living this dark life, right? He is the king of the world, essentially. And Egypt is the land of sorcery and the land of magic and the land of paganism, many gods, and the main god being the Nile, that the Nile is just rising up and feeding everything. They don't have to pray for rain. They don't have to pray for anything. Everything's taken care of for them, just like the snake, the Nachash. Everything was given to the Nachash. Didn't have to pray for any food. Hashem is saying, here, I'm going to give you all your food. Don't worry. Don't talk to me. Same thing with Paro, right? But now he has a moment of Shuvah, right, where he's thinking, maybe my life isn't the way it should be. It could be, right? And this is represented by the good 7 cows. The good seven cows represented a time when he was really willing to nullify himself for a little bit, right? Where for a little bit he was saying, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this life like this isn't for me. Maybe I could be doing more. Maybe this whole thing about paganism is crazy. And he started feeling self-nullification. It came up as good cows. And then what happened? Then there was a time where he says, no, that's crazy. What am I talking about? I'm the king of the world. I'm Paro. And he gets woken up. He says, whoa, what a crazy dream that was. I thought I was going to make Shuvah. I thought I was doing self-nullification. What a crazy dream. But then I still felt distraught. Even though I felt like me, I still didn't know what was going on. Oh, put it aside. And he goes, and then he tries to fall back asleep. And once again, he gets woken up a little bit in his sleep, so to speak, where he has thoughts of Shuvah, and he sees the good ears of corn, and he feels good things, and he wants to change his life and wants to see good things. And then what happens? Then there's 7 bad ears, so to speak, 7 bad ears of corn. And this is where he says, no, what am I talking about? I'm the king. No one's like me. I have responsibility to take care of these people, but really they have to come and serve me. You know, I've learned so much, achieved so much, blah, 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 blah. Right, and what happens? He wakes up distraught. Nobody can help him. Everybody's coming. All the sorcerers and necromancers and magicians are coming, and no one can help him. But who can help him? The Tzadik. Tzadik can come and help him. Right, and he was so close himself to self-nullification, but he kept denying the self-nullification. Right, so we see that with the Tzadik achieved being the Tzadik by, of course, doing Hashem's will, and of course, getting more and more grace and chen in Hashem's eyes and in the people's eyes, but also the main catalyst was the self-nullification, the continued self-nullification. And just when he thought he was there, he had to self-nullify himself more. And so too with ourselves, right, that we have a Paro inside of all of us, that we have a Yetzer Hara inside of all of us, And even the Yetzer Hara is a creation of Hashem. And Yetzer Hara at times wants to serve Hashem. And then he says, no, listen, I'm going to distract you. And every once in a while, we feel motivated and we feel connected and we feel like, wow, we can do this, we can move forward. And then once again, we fall off. When a person wants to come close to Hashem, they feel so inspired and they want to run and jump. And then what happens? Hashem drops them, right? When it's an awakening from above. Hashem gives a person a certain amount of time, feeling like he's up in the clouds, and Hashem is doing everything for him, and then drops him so he can know what he's missing. And then once again, a person has to go and make themselves go and say, okay, fine, this one is an awakening from below. I'm the one awakening over here. I'm the one who wants to awaken over here. It's not you doing anymore, Hashem, it's me. And a person can feel inspired for a while, and they're moving, and they're saying, wow, look at all the things I'm achieving. This is awesome. And then after a while, the person can get tired, and they start slipping again. Right? Rebbe Nachman, when he first met Rav Nassan, he had a dream of Rebbe Nachman. He didn't know it was Rebbe Nachman at the time, but he kept climbing up this ladder, and he would climb up a little bit, and then he'd go up a little bit more, and then he'd fall. He'd go, and he'd fall over the bottom, he'd go all the way up, and he'd climb a little bit more, and then he'd fall. And each time reaching a little bit more, and then finally he saw this young man up there, this young Rebbe up there, and he went, and he saw he was climbing up, and the Rebbe said, this time just don't fall. Right, you're falling. The level isn't changing. The level's still here. You're falling. The Tzadik had to help him, right? So for us as well, we need help from a Tzadik. We need help from a Rebbe. We need help from a spiritual guide. But not only that, we have to continually self-nullify ourselves to find the inner Tzadik within us. And the inner Tzadik within us is not easy because there's still pieces of us that want to hold on to the thing that isn't the Tzadik, the thing that's pushing us away from the Tzadik that we're supposed to be. Whatever it is for each person. For one person, it's food. For another person, it's music. For another person, it's not guarding their eyes properly. For another person, it's not learning Torah. For another person, it's not taking care of themselves. For another person, it's not honoring their wife. For another person, it's not teaching their kids the right way. Whatever it is for each person, they want to keep doing the things the way they've been doing things. And they don't want to be told on things. And for certain things, they're getting self-nullified. Right? For another person, it's money. Right? They say, listen, Hashem, I'll give you the keys to my entire house. I'll let you do everything that you want me to do. I will do everything except for money. Listen, I don't know if you're going to give me enough money, so I got to take care of the money part, all right? I'm going to go to work and I'll take care of that. But everything else, you got everything. This is your house, Hashem. I'm just living in it. It's not really self-nullification like that. The person has to let everything go. And this is what people learn also in 12 steps in recovery, right? That a person can, when a person's first getting sober, right, they want Hashem to take that stuff, but everything else I got, and that doesn't work like that. And then a person may be even sober in that thing, and then they realize, oh, they have another problem with something else because they're not self-nullifying themselves in certain areas, right? So this happens to every single person. It's a human condition that we want to hold on. We don't want to self-nullify ourselves completely. And that's why it took Yosef Tzadik extra time, because he had to do it. So all of us, first of all, behooves us. It's a controversial topic, but it behooves us to find for ourselves a spiritual guide, a rabbi, a rebbe, somebody who can come and teach us what it is that we need to do and help guide us in accordance to our own soul and our own way. That every single rebbe is different and every single person is different. What's good for one person, not good for another person. Even it could be for your spouse. One person is good, and for the spouse, it's not good. Somebody else is out there, though, for you. Same thing for the kids. Maybe the parents are into one rabbi and the kids, they just can't connect. Or one kid can't connect, or one does and the other one doesn't, and the other one needs someone else. But every single person is drafted to a team. Because what's the whole point of it? You can see that every single person, every single high-ranking CEO, every high-performing person in Wall Street or Silicon Valley, not to deify these people. Our wonderful Tiferet here is coming to say a little something, but we'll wrap this up, right? Even these people, even people who are high-performing individuals, executives, doctors, lawyers, people, they have coaches. They have people who are going to see the blind spots that they can't see and to help them get over certain humps that they have and to help them reach new levels. Even people in the NBA and the NFL and MLB, they all have coaches. They're making more money than coaches, and they're paying the coaches to come and tell them what's going wrong with them so they can watch film together, so they can help them. So how much more so here with Kedusha, Do we need coaches? You think you can do it on your own? How's that been working for all of us? Right? We need a Rebbe. We need somebody to teach us. We need a rabbi. And we have to keep finding. If we haven't found the right person for us, we have to keep finding. Because then that coach, that rabbi is going to help us find that inner Tzadik. Because we have to pull out that inner Tzadik. There's still something that we're blind on, that we haven't nullified ourselves yet, that we still want to hold on control. Like the mashal, the analogy of the monkey. That there's a certain group of hunters that they use this. They put an orange inside of another casing, so then the monkey will go in and put there and try and get the orange out. The problem is the orange will never come out, so the hunter can just come and get them and boom, snatch them. All they had to do was let go of the orange and they could escape. Same thing with us, right? We will so preciously want to grab that orange out of the trap. But it's that's keeping us stuck in our place, right? The tzaddik, somebody can come and say, hey, get your hand out of that trap. Otherwise, they're going to come and get you. They can see things that we can't see. And then we can go ourselves and say, I don't need this anymore. And we can let it go and we can walk away and we can run away from the hunter, from the Yetzer Hara who's coming to get us. So Hashem should bless us, that all of us, that we should be able to have our own self-nullification in the right way through our own process, and to find our right coach, to find the right coach for each one of us, each single person individually, should have the right coach for them, to listen to the coach, never going from the right to the left, a Rebbe, somebody who can come and have a personal relationship with, not just somebody on the wall and they're reading. It's also good to have somebody they can have a personal relationship with and get advice from on a personal level. And in this way, we're going to see that every single person is becoming a true tzaddik, a real tzaddik, and that the tzaddik Yesod Olam is expanding to the whole Yesod Olam, the whole foundation of the world is becoming every single person who is adding more and more foundation. And this way, we're going to see mamish speedily, right away. That can happen now. The Moshiach Tzidkenu has already arrived. And the third Beis HaMikdash has come and descended from heaven. And a unified world, a unified Israel, unified Yerushalayim, Am Yisrael, and everybody around. For Shalom, peace, Be'ahava, L'chaim, Chanukah Sameach.